All right, everyone, good morning. My name is Laura Sierra Talvaro, and today I'll be doing my Pecha Kucha presentation. So today I'm going to go over 4 main topics. First, I'm going to be talking about my artwork, then my graphic design work, then, of course, my industrial design work, and finally, I'll be talking about my work life and how that all ties together. So let's start from the beginning. So I started off my career at the University of Georgia doing graphic design. And while I was there, I ended up having to take several art classes, one of which was my favorite, which was figure drawing. And I found this huge passion and admiration for being able to draw people. And these skills helped me all throughout my design career. Now, I'll show you what I mean by that. So when I first arrived to tech 3 years ago, I realized I had a completely different approach to drawing than traditional industrial designers. I preferred to draw people with the product rather than just the product because I like to show the connection that they can have between the two of them. Now, the longer I ended up spending here at tech, the more I started to kind of take this concept of figure drawing and just abstracting it to a completely different version of figure drawing in general, which transitioned into just creating characters, which became more of being fascinated with this idea of character development, storyboarding, and finally animations. And so I love being able to emotionally connect with your user to a product, especially through this idea of storytelling. And an example of that is with my UX project called Next Time. Now, Next Time is an app that helps long-distance couples communicate while they're apart. And the cool part about being able to use my graphic design skills was really being able to tell that story, especially with the graphics in some of these posters here. Now, another area that I've always been extremely interested in this whole time is packaging. So packaging for me is this perfect divide between industrial design, experience design, and graphic design. And so I like being able to surprise the user and create this stickiness between the consumer, the product, and the brand all at the same time. And I guess speaking about branding, another project that really let me focus on that was Miko. So we were challenged to first create the product and then create a brand that could be created go along with that product. So it was cool to first create the brand identity and then start with sketching ideas and then finally creating a final product, which here ended up being a beer bottle design that could be used in high-end restaurants. And so here, I was challenged with creating a new experience for gift card users that would encourage them to go to the mall more often. So we created this whole system, which included pop-up shops, new gift card designs, personalized packaging, and gifts from retailers at malls, which would increase that traffic again to the malls. So when it comes to experience, a project that let me focus on that idea was AMSA. So AMSA is a pair of rings that help individuals use chopsticks regardless of any skill level they may have or any physical impairments they have at that moment. It's actually inspired by 2 of my friends who didn't know how to use chopsticks. So the next project I'm going to be talking about is called MJ. So MJ was the first project that didn't show the end user using that product. However, I like to play with this idea where everybody watching the video is the user at the end. And it was at that point where I ended up finding this complete love and admiration for advertising and commercials. And then that ended up transitioning to my next project, which is a 3-piece dinnerware set that was made for airplane flyers. So I wanted to be able to create a product that reduced the fear of flying and emphasized the beauty that comes with flying. And this product was in a Arts Thread article, and it was as well as the Atlanta Design Festival. So the next project I'm going to be talking about is a wooden chair that consists of nearly 180 pieces. So this piece was made more to be an art installation than anything else. So the intent was to have the user walk around the piece and being able to explore all the different illusions that pop up depending on what version you look at the chair at. And my next furniture project that I worked on was a light-up display table inspired by the interior of the NCR building right around the block. So multiple of these pieces would be able to be added together to form any size table that NCR would need at that moment. So I was actually able to go to the NCR building and take those photos there. Now, the next project is a clothing line piece called Lunike. So these pants were made so that the user could customize the clothing according to their personal style as well as keep them safe while walking at night. Now, as you might notice, I love using video to show a story or to evoke an emotion with users. And so a way I was able to do that was with Jenny's. So Jenny's is a thermotherapeutic solution to managing menstrual pain. And this product was actually given honorable mention for a humanitarian award last year. And it was accepted into the CreateX program here, which means that Jenny's and this product are actually an active company as of today. So to kind of go away from that, some of my favorite freelance work. So I've worked as a graphic designer for a small wedding photography company, as well as for Enleven. And then at the same time, I worked as a graphic designer and fashion designer for Commons Lane. So a cool fact with Commons Lane is that some of the clothing and illustrations that I made for them are currently sold out on their website today, which is like super cool. Now, as for 2 summers ago, I ended up working for a small healthcare company called Best Care. And one of the coolest things I did for them was I redesigned their packaging and their instruction book that you see here so end users would know how to repackage their products if they needed to be shipped back to the company at any point, which was a cool project for me personally. So this past summer, I actually ended up working for NCR as a product and UX designer. And one of the main projects I helped them with was creating a system that would help their sales engineers work better with their customers. So I created graphics that would show the customer and anyone at NCR an engineer's specific skill level. So these were some of the badges that I ended up making for them. Now, something that's pretty different from all of the other stuff, and I thought would be kind of fun to include, is my interest in makeup. So I love doing cool Halloween costumes, and it's a cool way for me to combine my graphic design skills, my product design skills into a personal hobby of mine. So now that you know me a little bit better, my design philosophy might make a little bit more sense. So for me, adding skill to an idea sparks customer interest, but devotion happens by understanding users fundamentally and designing their experience and connecting them through storytelling. So that's me personally. I'm Laura Sierra, and thank you for watching.